My name is Sarah. I am 28 years old. I grew up with my older sister, Emily. She is 5 years older than me and has always been like a second mother. Emily was the person I trusted most in the world. She helped me with my homework, gave me advice, and always made me feel safe. 3 years ago, I met Mark. He was everything I had ever wanted: kind, funny, and caring. Mark made me laugh, brought me flowers, and told me I was special. I fell in love with him quickly, and we began to dream of a future together. I often talked to Emily about Mark. She was happy for me and told me, "You found a good man." The three of us spent time together often. Emily would come over for dinner, and we would laugh and talk for hours. I loved how close we all were. I thought I had the perfect balance in life: a loving boyfriend and a sister who was also my best friend. But lately, something had felt different. Mark seemed distracted. He didn't respond to my texts as quickly, and when I asked what was wrong, he would say, "I'm just tired." Emily, too, had become distant. She canceled our weekly coffee dates, saying she was too busy. I tried to ignore the nagging feeling in my heart. I didn't want to believe anything was wrong. One evening, I decided to surprise Mark with dinner at his apartment. I thought it would make him smile again. If you like this story so far, don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories like this. I arrived at Mark's apartment with his favorite food in my hands. It was a quiet evening, and I felt nervous, but excited. I wanted to surprise him and bring back the warmth that had been missing between us. As I walked up the stairs, I noticed something strange. The door to his apartment was slightly open. I hesitated, my heart beginning to race. Did he forget to lock it? Slowly, I pushed the door open and stepped inside. At first, the apartment was quiet. Then I heard voices coming from the living room. My heart sank as I recognized them. It was Mark's voice, but the other voice, it was Emily's. I moved closer, my steps slow and careful. The closer I got, the more I could hear. They were laughing together. My chest tightened. Why was Emily here? Why were they laughing? When I turned the corner, I froze. Mark and Emily were sitting close together on the couch. Mark had his hand on Emily's knee, and they were both smiling. The sight hit me like a punch in the stomach. Why are they so close? What's going on? They didn't notice me at first. Then Emily's eyes met mine, and her smile vanished. Mark turned, startled. He stood up quickly. "Sarah, it's not what it looks like," he said. His voice panicked. I couldn't speak. My hands shook, and I dropped the bag of food on the floor. Tears filled my eyes as I turned and ran out of the apartment, ignoring their calls for me to stop. Outside, the cold air hit my face, but it didn't help. My heart felt like it had been ripped apart. The two people I trusted the most had betrayed me. When I got home, I went straight to my room and locked the door. My legs felt weak, and my chest felt tight. I sank onto my bed and stared at the ceiling. Tears rolled down my face, but I didn't bother wiping them away. My mind kept replaying what I had seen: Mark's hand on Emily's knee, their laughter, the way they froze when they saw me. I trusted them. I loved them both. How could they do this to me? I felt like my world was falling apart. Questions flooded my mind. How long had I been going on? Was I blind to the signs? Was I not enough for Mark? My thoughts shifted to Emily. She's my sister. Did she ever think about how much this would hurt me? I sat up and wiped my face. I thought back to the past few months. Mark had been distant. He spent more time on his phone and avoided my questions. Emily had been canceling plans, saying she was busy. Suddenly, all the little things I ignored started to make sense. I wanted answers, but I was scared of the truth. What if they admitted everything? What if I lost them both? That evening, my best friend Lisa called. She noticed my voice trembling and asked, "Sarah, what's wrong?" At first, I didn't want to talk, but the words came out. I told her about Mark and Emily, about what I saw and how broken I felt. Lisa listened quietly, then said, "You need to talk to them, Sarah. You deserve answers. Don't let them leave you like this." Her words echoed in my mind. I knew she was right, but I didn't know if I was strong enough to face them. The next morning, I woke up with a heavy heart, but a clear decision. I couldn't live with the questions eating me alive. I needed to know the truth, no matter how much it hurt. I called Mark and Emily and asked them to meet me at a cafe. My voice was cold, and I didn't wait for their excuses. At the cafe, I arrived early. My hands were shaking, but I told myself to stay calm. When they walked in, I noticed Emily's face was pale. She avoided my eyes. Mark looked tense, his jaw tight. They sat down across from me, but no one spoke at first. I broke the silence. "I need you both to tell me the truth," I said, my voice trembling. "What is going on between you two?" Emily spoke first. Her voice was soft, almost a whisper. "Sarah, I'm so sorry. It's not what you think." Mark jumped in, his voice desperate. "We weren't trying to hurt you. I promise, Sarah, you've got this wrong." I leaned forward, anger rising in my chest. "Then explain. Why were you so close? Why were you laughing like that? Why didn't you tell me Emily was at your apartment?" My voice cracked, and tears threatened to spill again. Mark hesitated, then said, "I asked Emily to help me plan a surprise for you. Your birthday is coming up, and I wanted it to be special. That's all, Sarah." Emily nodded quickly, her eyes glistening with tears. "We didn't mean to hide it from you. We just wanted it to be perfect. I know how this must look, but I would never hurt you like that." Their words hung in the air. Part of me wanted to believe them, but another part felt shattered by their secrecy. I shook my head and said, "You didn't think about how this would feel. You broke my trust. Both of you." Mark reached for my hand, but I pulled away. "I'll do anything to fix this," he said quietly. Emily began to cry. "I never wanted to hurt you, Sarah. Please forgive me." I stood up, my legs weak but steady. "I need time to think," I said before walking out, leaving them sitting in silence. The days after the confrontation were the hardest I'd ever faced. My mind kept replaying their words. "It's not what you think. We didn't mean to hurt you." Part of me wanted to believe them, but the pain of seeing them together lingered. At first, I didn't know what to do. I avoided their calls and texts. I cried myself to sleep every night, wondering if I could ever trust them again. Did they really mean no harm, Or was I just too afraid to face the truth? But as the days passed, I realized something important. Holding on to anger and pain wasn't hurting them. It was hurting me. Forgiveness didn't mean forgetting or pretending nothing happened. It meant letting go of the weight that was dragging me down. So, after a week, I called them. We met again, and this time I was calm. I looked at them and said, "I've decided to forgive you, but forgiveness doesn't mean I've forgotten. It'll take time to rebuild my trust." Emily cried as she apologized again. "Thank you, Sarah. I'll never hurt you like this again." Mark nodded and said, "I'll do whatever it takes to prove you can trust me." After that, I started focusing on myself. I spent more time with my friends, picked up painting, and started going for walks in the park. For the first time in weeks, I felt free. I realized something important. Forgiveness wasn't for them. It was for me. Have you ever faced betrayal like Sarah? How did you move forward? Share your story in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this story with someone who needs to hear it.